I shared a video last week about how many people in the nonprofit world are underpaid, and that brought in a lot of opinions from everyone and about a dozen or so comments, and today we're going to talk through those. First up is this comment. It's in the name, nonprofits. Fair enough. I mean, it seems straightforward. However, the term nonprofit does not mean that they can't earn a profit. It just means that that profit has to some way go towards advancing the mission of said nonprofit. So if your nonprofit brings in a profit of $10,000 that year, we're just going to shoot a number out there. That $10,000 has to go towards operating costs that further the mission, paying the employees that further the mission, or anything else that furthers the mission of that nonprofit. That $10,000 cannot just go into the CEO's pocket because they want an extra $10,000 that year, or it shouldn't. Therefore, the term nonprofit does not mean that employees should not be being paid a fair wage. That just means that the money you're paying these employees means that their job description should say something along the lines of they are working to advance the organization. They're working to improve it. They're working to get it bigger and better and help the social cause it is wanting to help. Second comment, this one. It's a nonprofit organization. Don't expect to be paid from other people's donations. Yeah, that's not how this works. So, like I said previously, nonprofit does not mean they're not earning a profit. They are earning a profit of some sort. That profit is just being used to further the mission of the nonprofit. And donations are not the only way that nonprofits can earn money. They can actually earn income through renting out public spaces, merchandise, or having a fee for certain services that they provide. These are just a handful of ways that a nonprofit can earn money outside of donations, and all of this can be used to put towards your employees' pay. However, donations can be used to pay your employees. Your employees' job description just needs to be set up so that they are working towards improving and advancing the organization. Donations are given because the people want the organization to succeed and improve and be able to provide bigger and better services. And an organization can't do that without people running it. An employee is hired to run the organization. They are hired to do something in the organization that improves and betters that organization. Some nonprofits hire grant writers. That grant writer needs to be paid for their services. And the services that they are providing are actually improving the organization because they are hoping to win grants for this organization to increase funding so that this organization can broaden and grow and just do better for the community that's in. But no one is going to work for free. You have to pay that grant writer. In some way, shape, or form, they have to get money for the service they're providing this organization. And the service they're providing to the organization is advancing the organization. Therefore, you can use the money that you earn through donations or merchandise or services to pay that employee. If you hire an operations manager, their job is to make sure that the organization is operating properly. Without it operating properly, you don't have an organization. That is a job that is advancing that organization. It's improving it. It's helping it grow. That employee can be paid through donations or earned income that the nonprofit is getting. Some hospitals and universities are nonprofits. Should we not pay our doctors? Should we not pay the professors? They're the employees of those nonprofits. So you saying that the employees of other nonprofits aren't there to make bank or aren't there to make a big salary, they shouldn't even be paid at all. It's the equivalent of saying these doctors, these professors, these nurses, they don't need to be paid. Think about it that way. Comment number 3. Sorry, you're not covered under administrative costs. Unfortunately, with a lot of big nonprofits, that's the case. There are a lot of larger nonprofits that are more well known than the smaller ones who are actually doing good and following the rules, that pay their higher ups more than they really should, and everyone on bottom gets what's left over, which is not right. It's not right at all. Honestly, expecting the people who are coming into work and busting their tails and doing what they can to help the organization improve, do more work for less money, is not the mindset we need to have at all. And unfortunately, the big nonprofits, some of them, tend to work that way. Comment number 4. You don't get involved in nonprofits if you want to bank. That's obvious, at least for most people. Yeah, if you're starting a nonprofit, you're more or less creating it because you've noticed there's a lack of something in your community and you want to provide a service that helps that. You're not really in it to make a giant portion of money. However, if you have employees, you do need to pay them a proper wage. Choosing to work in the nonprofit industry does not mean you're going into it saying, I just want to earn $25,000 a year and I'll do 50 hours of work each week. I want to improve the world. I want to do better. That's fine to have that mindset. However, it's not fair to you. It's not. Employees deserve to be paid minimum wage at the least who work in nonprofits. And if you're requiring them to do more work, they deserve more money for that. Just because you go into the nonprofit world does not mean you should be expected to receive less. They aren't in it to make bank, no, but employees deserve to be fairly compensated. 5th comment. When you do some research into the percentage of the dollar that you donate that actually goes towards the cause, you would be horrified. Unfortunately, for a lot of the nonprofits that are more known, that people hear about more often, we'll say Red Cross, for example, this is kind of true. Some of the larger nonprofits tend to take the money for themselves instead of putting it towards the causes that need help. However, you can't run a nonprofit without people. And while you want people to just volunteer their time and give back without being paid, that's not going to happen every time. You can't expect someone to come in 30 to 40 hours a week and work for free. They have to have a job of some sort. And no one is going to have a 40-hour week job and then come in and donate 30 to 40 hours of their time. Some might, actually. I won't say no one. There are not enough people that would do that to help these nonprofits function and run properly. You have to pay employees in nonprofits in order for a nonprofit to keep going and function properly. And sometimes paying your employees a fair salary means budget cuts happen elsewhere. That's just how it has to happen. Not always. A lot of times, nonprofits make plenty of money and they're able to spread it out everywhere. But in order for it to continue and to function and to grow, you need people who know what they are doing. You need people who are paid properly, who want to come and want to continue to improve the work that nonprofit is doing. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You don't expect a for-profit business to hire you, give you a set salary, set of hours, and then say, oh yeah, you have to work an extra 20 hours per week for free. You're just going to volunteer to do that. No one expects that. Why do you expect these people to? Next comment. Obviously, you haven't been outside. Many nonprofits make 6-figure salaries. Yeah, the nonprofit in general does. Have you checked their 990s? Have you looked at their budgets? Do you see where that money's going? Some nonprofits spend more on galas and events and things like that than they do their actual employees. That's not right. Yes, the nonprofit itself makes 6-figure salaries. In some cases, the executive director, CEO, whatever you want to call it, makes a six-figure salary. But then you start looking lower, and those of us in the smaller range don't. They make below minimum wage in some instances. That's not fair. They deserve to be paid and compensated for their work. 7th comment. Nonprofits. Go look at what some of the higher-ups make each year. Nonprofit means you don't make a profit at the end of the year after everything is given out, including salaries. Yeah, like I said previously, if you look, there's a lot of CEOs, executive directors, higher-ups, they make a lot of money. They're being paid that much because their employees are most likely being underpaid. Final comment. What? Nearly everybody who's an employee anywhere is overworked and underpaid. Maybe true, but we provide services to nonprofits, so we're going to discuss nonprofit things. If you found anything in this video helpful, like and subscribe for more.